Hi, this is Brett, and we're back with another DIY light bundle. This time, we're lighting up the NINJAGO Fire Knight Mech. First and foremost, we're going to remove Rusty the Fire Knight from his little stand on the dock. We're going to remove most of the dock, and we're going to also remove these rocks here and here. We're going to remove the giant monster, the Gemon Ou. Now we're going to remove these two grey plates on either side of the base. From the spotlight pack, grab a large, warm white 30cm light, a round plate with an open stud, two 1x1 round plates with a bar handle, and a skeleton arm. Take an astro large warm white 30cm light and thread it through a round black plate with an open stud. Then we're going to clip it into place with a 1x1 round plate with a bar handle. Then we're going to attach a skeleton arm to that bar handle, and then we're going to attach another 1x1 round plate with bar handle onto that skeleton arm. So you're going to have to do these instructions twice. We're going to put one here, and we're going to thread the cable down and pin it into place with a grey plate. We're going to put the other spotlight on the other side of the base, mirroring it, and we're going to put a grey plate over the cable as well. We're going to remove this grey plate, and remove this round pink plate, and we're going to do some funky stuff with the water. We're going to grab our Astro Large Cool White 4-pack, and we're also going to grab some pieces from our transparent brick pack. Grab one of our Astro Large Cool White lights, and we're going to place it where that pink base was, and we're going to pin it into place with a red transparent stud. We're going to grab another cool white light, and we're going to pin that underneath a blue transparent stud. We're going to use all the transparent studs we need to for this. We're going to make a ring around those two plates where that pink plate was. This is what their positions should look like. Run those two cables towards the back of the model, and then put the pink plate over the top of them. Alrighty, we're now going to put some lights inside of old mate Gemon Ou's mouth. We're going to take his head, and we're going to remove this little pink piece here. Then we're going to rip its entire jaw off. Once half its mouth is completely gone, we're going to remove this piece from its mouth here. Now we're going to thread another cool white 30cm light through a black open stud plate, and then cap that with a transparent red piece. Then we're going to thread that cable through the little hole in his mouthpiece here, and then we're going to pin that into place right in the very center of all these studs. We're going to reattach his jaw here, and we're going to run the cable through the gap in the other side of his mouth. We're going to pin the cable in place with that pink piece we took off earlier. I recommend keeping the mouth open as wide as possible, so there's enough slack in the cable later on to position the mouth however you want. Reattach the head of Gemon Ou to the base, and then we're going to run the cable down towards the back and pin it in place with the rest of his tentacles. We're going to run all those cables that we've got at the very front of the model now towards the back, and we're going to pin it in place with these two rock formations here and here. From our spotlight pack, we're going to grab a 6-stock. We're going to pull that out, and we're going to plug all the lights into it and clip it down into place. We're going to run the cables down underneath the model, and we're going to pin all those cables in place with the grey plate we took off earlier. Alrighty, now's the time to reattach any bits and bobs to the monster that you forgot to attach. And we're going to reassemble the docks. Make sure you put the docks back down, and also the boat and the man perpetually falling out of the boat. Last thing we're going to do for this section is open up the flux belt pack. We are going to plug in our flux belt, and we're going to do a power test and make sure that everything is working perfectly. Next up, the Fire Mech. We're going to take away his staff first, and then we're going to take his cloak off the back. We're going to decapitate him as well, and we're also going to remove the lantern that's sitting on his chest. For the head, we're going to take this 1x2 round plate off the base. Then we're going to thread a warm white large light through one of the holes and clip it back into place. And you're not going to thread it through the same hole that you're going to plug that bar and ball attachment into later. Once the head's reattached, run the cable towards the back and pin it underneath this slope piece here. For the lantern, we're going to completely disassemble it, take a cool white light, and we're going to thread it through a black open stud plate. Then we're going to take the red piece, and we're going to place it over the light. Now, here's a tricky part. You're going to run the cable up through the dish, and then pulling the cable tightly, put the dish down on the head. Then you're going to slot that golden chain piece into the dish, and then push the whole thing back onto his body. We're going to run the cable through this piece here on his back, and then just leave it hanging for the time being. Now we're going to do the staff. We're going to split the staff in two and start with the smaller end first. We're going to take the little candle flame off the top, and we're going to open up flickering warm white pack. We're going to put the flickering warm white light onto the cone, place a black open stud plate over the top of the light, put the flame piece back on top of it. Run our cable down the back of this staff, and we're going to thread it through the hole here as we reattach this piece to the rest of the staff. Next, we're going to pull the bigger end off of the staff, and we're going to take off this stickered piece here. First, we're going to take our flickering warm white light, and we're going to thread that through the Technic pin and capping it with a transparent orange open stud plate. Then we're going to take a large warm white light, thread that through the other Technic pin, and cap that with another transparent orange plate. We're gonna run both of those cables through a little hole at the back here, and then we're gonna cap both of those pieces off with that stickered piece. We're gonna run both of those cables through the hole here, then we're gonna reattach the staff back onto the Fire Knight Mech. Grab a transparent clear 2x2 boat stud. We're gonna run those cables along his forearm, and then we're gonna use that 2x2 boat stud and pin them into place. From our Dock 6 pack, grab the Dock 6 and the 1x6 tether and combine them together. Plug all of the cables into that 6 dock. Clip the dock into his back just about here, and we're gonna have the leftover cables hanging down. Grab 4 of the 1x1 round plates in white, and we're also gonna grab that 2x2 transparent clear boat stud as well. We're gonna place the 4 white studs at the bottom here like this, and run the cables through them. And then we're gonna cap them off with the boat stud. We're gonna take our belt 50 and we're gonna plug it into the 6 dock here. We're then gonna run it down the back of his leg, and we're going to pin it underneath this inverted slope piece here. Now, reattach the Fire Knight Mech and pose him however you wish. Once he's posed to your liking, reattach the cape. Plug in the other end of that belt 50 into the 6 dock down below, and you can tuck the cable under the base if you want to. And now light it up, and everything is looking fantastic. Rusty the Fire Knight Mech is ready to take on Gemon Ou at his liking.